games up there, and I'm told he's a mini Brett Ratton. He's an accumulator. He's an old school footballer, boys. Old school midfielder that just gets around, finds it, uses it okay. So look for him to spend a bit of time through the middle tonight. So just the one other change with Ben Long going out of the side, forced, and Paddy Ryder coming in.
Which we'll talk about as we get into the game, because that is a significant change at selection. So good luck to Ryan Burns. So he will be sharing the ruck, Marshall, tonight with Paddy Ryder. But the other big story tonight is the fans are back. We saw them in Perth last night. We got them in Adelaide tonight. It all points to a big Monday night footy. The Bouncers next.
Dangerous always, Lynch. Dangerous right now. The first is on the board. Then he bats, jumping like Timmy Watson, and kicks the goal off the left. A high one. Outnumbered. Oh, bats from nowhere. I saw off the tackle in the end. It fell for Taylor Walker again. And their leader is leading strongly. Then to Fogarty. Murphy to the left. He takes it on the young man. The brashness of youth.
Hard to believe, isn't it? That was Adelaide's last win, and it was in round 20 last year, and it's against St Kilda, who they meet tonight in Monday night footy. Good start for Tom Duday as captain. In the absence of Rory Sloane, he's won the toss. They'll be kicking to the right of screen. So we're just about set to go. What are you looking for, Nick and Brownie, from the Adelaide Crows in particular early?
Oh, look, you want their intensity to be up. So the one controllable for a side is that. It's your effort. They've been particularly disappointing on the pressure side of things, the Adelaide Crows. And for a team that has had the least amount of possession, 18th in possession across the competition this year, they haven't won the tackle count once. So that is a controllable, and something that I'm sure Matthew Nicks would have addressed this week.
Yeah, they need to apply some more scoreboard pressure. Of course, I've liked the move of Brody Smith onto the wing the last couple of weeks. He's 31, Brad Smith, I think he retired a long time ago, didn't he, Hutto? 31 disposals last week against the West Coast Eagles. So I think that's been really important. That man needs to stand up, Tex Walker, show some leadership. He's had terrific form against St Kilda, and quite often to break out of a form slump, it's nice to come up against a team that you've had a good recent history.
Brodie Smith there. You can see Jaron Geary, the St Kilda captain, he's gone and clamped him straight away. So that's been the MO for the Saints in their victories this year. You go and control the talent. They did it with Cripps and Doherty. They did it with Johannesson and Bontempelli. So they're going after Brodie Smith from the Crows.
Let's see if Ben Keys will go after Brad Hill. He has to go after Brad Hill.
Okay, well, Paddy Ryder's back in the team and starting in the ruck. A familiar venue for him as the former Port Adelaide player goes up, wins the tap. Jones with the soccer. Good heavy stuff there with Matt Crouch versus Jones. And the kick goes inside to Membry and sneaking through Butler. Oh, it's just about to launch as to what a revelation he's been for the Saints this year, but that was probably his least successful kick of the year.
It was a really important little fingernail in there from Hartigan, just able to scrag the back of his jersey. But that's what he's done so well this season, Butler. Just get to the right spot at the key forward's feet.
He was a little quieter last week, just the 6 possessions and 1 goal. But 10 goals, 6 has been a terrific return for the former Tiger. O'Brien's had a much quieter week in the lead up to this match than he did last week. Got a new phone anyway, so he should be well connected with everything that's out there. Carlisle jams it on the boot, gets it in forward. Oh, the cruelest bounce. Kent was off to Butler. This time he makes no mistake, and the Saints haven't taken long to get going.
Just 2 great examples, Brownie, of being in the right spot from Dan Butler. The first time he wasn't able to capitalise, but you notice here he just stays on the move. So he's tracking the footy, referencing the key forward. It's Dean Kent in the end that gets on the end of it, and it's just smart positioning.
He's been an important pickup, as in for St Kilda. It's terrific last week early in the game. Interesting to follow Brad Hill now. I think the first set of bounce, he started at a half-forward flank, which is an unusual position for Brad Hill. Normally starts on a wing, so obviously St Kilda are trying to test as to whether he's going to get tagged. So try and play some games here. And looks as if Hamill might be getting the job on him. So Hamill's definitely a half-back flanker. So Clearly, Hill is playing in the forward line, which is unusual. I don't think he would have started forward many times throughout his career, but obviously trying to break out of that form slump, Ed.
Look at the disposals there, 9-0. St Kilda's way, and out they go again through Jones. Jones kicks wide out to the forward pocket position. Hill running with the ball, gets the handball back to Billings. Just slides the ball in towards the hot spot there. Now a chance, the first disposal. Play on, says the umpire. It comes out to Hamill. He goes back and gets his own ball. Further handball again. The big fella O'Brien goes in, knocks it forward. Now they get it going. Good play there by Jones. Takes on his opponent. Handball comes out from Matt Crouch. What can they do now? They're under enormous pressure. Great stuff from St Kilda. And we'll have a throw in. Tremendous pressure. They just couldn't get through, Roo.
Yeah, no, that was hot. So we know they've got the top two forward pressure players in the competition in Loney and Butler. That has been the noticeable difference this year from the Saints.
And Crouch just had to find the line, didn't he? And he was able to. Gets involved here off Seedsman, but again, no clear path forward for them. So the Saints not letting it get past the mid-line. And it's a free kick to Billings. So Billings sends St Kilda to half forward. Crows have got all bases covered this time, and Hardigan eased into a mark. And immediately he eyes off a switch to the outer side. And he's got players ahead wing side if he wants to keep it on that path, Kelly. Instead, he brings it back into Laird. And then it's just a pokey kick to the ever-leading Lynch. Takes the mark and eyes off something through the middle. Chase Jones played the waiting game. Back for Lynch again. Popped it up over Steele. And out wide to half-forward. Stengel takes the mark.
Yeah, I think this is Matty Nix's preferred method of play, to build the uncontested marks, pull apart the St Kilda defence.
Well, the Saints have been able to get good numbers back into a decent structure to make it difficult. Carlisle didn't show too much care. He just piled right in on that occasion. Gresham tries to get them kick-started with a hand pass. He's just about to be put under pressure, but as you saw, got the releasing kick away. Now Butler and Brown. Luke Brown, a very experienced player. Butler got away from him early and kicked a goal. He gets that one over the line, and it's deemed deliberate.
It's an important role there for Luke Brown. He's been a terrific defender for a number of years playing on Butler, but been lowering his colours recent times. He's clearly been under the pump with the amount of supply opposition teams have had.
I reckon Diego Maradona would have had trouble to control the ball like that to get it delivered out of bounds. The double off the ground kick. Butler didn't like it. Neither did Brett Ratton. It's on the forward 50 for Adelaide. Not anymore because it's been cleared out towards the wing position. Loney applying the pressure. Good stuff. Over the line it goes. It is now overthrowing. So great to see the Crows fans out tonight in numbers. Plenty of noise. Getting right behind their team, looking for their first win in this amazing 2020 season. Hill over the top of the ball. Comes out the Keys with a good handball. The Torpedoes up towards the centre half forward position. Carlisle first to respond, but Lynch gets there in front of him. Good tackle. Carlisle tries to throw him over the fence, and they get the throw in. So McHenry.
Marshall in the ruck now. There's the ball. Fell a bit short. O'Brien was able to get the clean tap onto it. Crouch over the top. O'Brien slammed down. Gresham, Keys, and the edge forward. It bounced in just the right place, and that one's ticked off as being okay.
Actually, look ahead of the play there. Dougal Howard has a matchup on Tex Walker, so I think that's a good matchup. I think Jay Carlisle would allow Tex Walker to lead up to the ball too much and build his uncontested mark game, really.
Yeah, Carlisle likes to roll off and try and intercept. I mean, Howard's good at that as well, but probably more suited to the leading types.
Yeah. He's got good speed too, Dougal Howard, doesn't he?
Callum Wilkie's the other one who, because Tex doesn't necessarily play like a big power key forward, Callum Wilkie's the other one that could do the job.
Billings just going very short. Marshall.
Interesting to see O'Brien going against Marshall and Ryder tonight. It's a big task. He had Nick Nat last week, so it's been a big fortnight for Riley O'Brien. Decided to lay off the tweets this week just to make his job slightly easier.
Clark to half forward. And he does the job tonight. He might get 2 phones around him up against Steve Rackman.
Probably a good thing he didn't tweet about Marshall and Ryder. If he was that disparaging toward Nick Nat, I'm not sure what he said about the 2 Saints boys.
It's Marbiel Chol, isn't it? 2 phones.
There's Hunter Clark, just there having a chat to Brett Radden. So Brett Radden's coaching from the bench today, or tonight. Both coaches on the bench, but Brett Radden has come down from the coach's box.
Still, that's the sort of ball that can cause great nerves for defenders. That's young Burns on debut, escorting Brown over the line with the footy.
So probably Brett Radden wanted to be closer to the players and give them that advice on the run, especially a younger player like Hunter Clark. I'd love to see Clark spend some minutes in the midfield, Rui.
Yeah, they're building his game. He's been really good since he's gone. They love his ball use off half-back. That's been the big change, I think, with the game style, is you want that really good bounce out of that back half of the ground.
Max King doing the ruck work. McPherson went to ground. 9 disposals last week with 5 intercept possessions. So they picked 40 in the 2017 draft. Andrew McPherson. His second game tonight.
And Keys there on Gresham.
Took it back.
Bang.
Certainly on him.
Yeah, he's on him, all right. He caravanning. So, it's one of the obvious matchups, isn't it? Keys obviously hasn't gone to Brad Hill because he's playing.
Yep, Brownie edging around on the left. And middle of the post.
Yeah, Brad Hill started at half forward, so it looks as if Keys was probably set for Gresham anyway. That's an obvious matchup.
See this routine where players go up and push blokes over? It's going to be in the gun. It's coming up big time in discussions, and I know Stephen Hocking doesn't like it at all, and there's a lot of people who don't.
It's an ugly look.
Well, it's not tough, Ed. Particularly if you did it 30 years ago, you would have copped one straight in the mouth. But you obviously can't do that anymore.
Yeah. So all this routine has not got a fan base at AFL House, I can promise you.
He's been good this year, Keys. He's done the job quite a few times for Adelaide while they've been under the pump. And going to Gresham, that's a smart move because he does create a lot of their opportunities going forward.
So Steele gets a little toe poke out. Laird in his 150th. Zach Jones has been a revelation. No one can get control of this ball. It's like a cake of soap out there. I won't go on about it again, but my theory's been proved all
Didn't they kick the balls in before the game, Ed?
I don't look like that, like they have. Have a look at it.
It's tough to kick 14 balls in, isn't it? With this COVID rules, now the amount of balls they use.
That's half the problem. So the ball comes out wider still. Here's Kelly. Sweeping handball over the top. Hamill. Twisting and turning, did well, just drew his opponent, which opened it up for Kelly, and Kelly is then able to transfer play to centre half back. That's good football.
It's like what you like seeing from a young player, Ed, just that bit of composure.
Dude got out of jail there. So Matt Crouch gets it back. One of the few players to play with his socks up these days. Kicks up towards Tex Walker, just missed.
Great effort there by Marshall. He knew the traffic was coming, especially Tex coming the other way. That's courageous. They're struggling to get into their forward half. The Adelaide Crows at the moment.
I was just going to say, there's not a lot of inside field from either team. It's 4-1 at this stage.
Yeah, they're dominating around the clearances. St. Kilda, 7-2 early.
So Caulfield from half back. Drives it down the outer wing. Big fly from King, couldn't quite hold it. Kelly does well again. But only this time as far as Dougal Howard, the former Crow, who marks.
Former power plays. He's had a really good start.
Terrific pickup. Yeah, terrific pickup.
I think his first time back to Adelaide.
Yes.
Oh, that's a cheap 50, isn't it? That would really cause some pain in the Adelaide coaching box. By an experienced player too in Brodie Smith. And a kick from Steele to the top of the square. King did all the hard work, and now he's given up a free in frustration.
Don't you hate that as a forward? You do all the hard work and you drop the sitter.
And then you turn one mistake into two.
Yeah, compounds the error.
It was good body work, though, against an All-Australian defender, Ardo.
Boys, the Adelaide defence is a bit undermanned down there with Hartigan off the field at the moment. McPherson was on King.
Yeah, not ideal. And thanks, Roo, as it's close to the line. Stays in. Geary. Burns versus Smith. Burns is just about to launch into a Snap for goal. Haven't we seen some great first kick, first goals of times, and that was not far off.
That's when you know you're playing AFL footy, Hutto. Burns, you pick up the footy in the under-18s or the VFL, you've always got those couple of steps and bang, you're set upon straight away.
So Duday from full back does just that. Big punch from behind from Howard. And Clark over the ball, stalemate, ball up.
Just to talk about that height differential, 186 centimetres. McPherson King, 202, so just a lazy 16 centimetres.
Has he got a history as a defender, Rube McPherson?
Yeah, he's absolutely running defender more than a third tall defender.
So 6 inches in the old. Fair height discrepancy.
Jaron Geary would be happy with his start. He's been able to keep Brody Smith to 1 possession so far. Smith coming off 31 disposals last week against West Coast. That's a good start.
So Paddy Ryder in the ruck, but it's O'Brien who gets the tap. Now a chance. A rare four-way forward for the Adelaide Crows. Carlisle does nicely. Gets it out to Caulfield, who's been busy already in this opening term. Thrown out of the way. Umpire said, good mark. Now the Crows line up again. Laird. Called to play on, so he bombs it long up towards Big Tex, who didn't get anywhere near it, and Caulfield was able to just...
He's got the free kick here, Tex. Yeah.
Got one in the back, did he?
Well, it was paid by the non-officiating in the middle of the ground, who obviously had a better view of it.
So I think Howard might have been the block there, which allowed Caulfield to take the mark. As I called, he didn't get anywhere near it. He had the big run up at it. So we'll get a replay in a few moments' time. Let's see what Taylor Walker can do. Last time up, kicked 4 goals against the Saints. It was a big game for him. The former captain of this club. Much maligned in recent times. A big kick as Taylor Walker comes in and massages it right through the middle. That's what the Crows needed.
You don't know when your teammate takes a mark deep in the fence. Tex would absolutely love it, but just have a look at the block here. The ball comes in, whether it's Battle or Howard. Just watching there, so Tex breaks. Yeah, he's not a lot in it. Josh against Josh Battle.
Wow.
Just seen coming from the side there. Look, he did take his eye off the ball. And the umpires are trained to watch the eyes of the defenders.
Was there really a block in there, Brownie? I mean, he may not have been looking, but did he actually block him?
Well, he did make contact, so I would have said play on, Hutto, but the umpires are drilled to look at the eyes, I suppose, and you know that the forwards usually get the preferential treatment. We want more goals in the game, Hutto. We want more goals.
Big forwards are all the same.
Well, we're all complaining we're not seeing enough scores. Good to see Tex back out there.
You wouldn't have taken that, would you?
Well, give it back, you reckon?
Yeah. they'll take them, the Crows. They've been hard to find for them this year. They only kicked over 10 goals once this year, and that was in round 1. So they've been scarce. Maybe that can get them going, give them a bit of confidence. The numbers multiply quickly, crashing it from all angles.
If you nick one behind, Eddie, you never walk.
Exactly.
And if you get a free kick you don't deserve, you never give it back.
Well, they owed you one anyway.
It all evens up over time.
Gilly used to walk, Brownie.
Oh, Gilly. That was unrestrained to walk, isn't it?
Ryder out to steal. Into the pocket. King right behind. And I think that was Member at the front who got a fist to it and got it over the line.
Oh, man, Joe Kelly too.
Kelly,
late, yeah.
Denying Membry, but...
Yeah, so that's a big matchup. So Membry's he's a tough matchup. He plays taller than his height. He's had a good impact in the contest this year.
Kelly watching Loney, Hardigan watching Kent, who's on the move as well. So, and he's equal, has been involved in as many scoring involvements as any other Saint so far this year since he's come into the team. Dean Kent, as Mackay takes a good mark at left half back. So Mackay goes short, and it wasn't able to be handled. Seedsman left it behind. Steele diving in hard. It's a bit greasy, isn't it? All the players having a bit of trouble with the ball handling. Zach Jones, fierce tackling from McHenry. Slammed out of there by Laird, back to the wing.
That was brave from Patton.
It was good from Patton, wasn't it? Off to Caulfield, who's been good in the last few weeks, but he gets hunted down by Stengel.
That's what you want to see from the Adelaide Crows. There's a bit of that pressure when the ball gets in motion. Some chase down tackles, get in the face.
Geez, a lack of awareness by Caulfield, wasn't it?
This is good hot football going on in this opening term. Both teams having a real go. McHenry off the pack, kicks up towards the forward 50. It sits nicely for Howard, has plenty of time. Thought Tex was going to give him one there, didn't in the end, just held back. Lynch, good twist of the body. Did it nicely. Little chip kick up towards an forward in the back.
Hold there, hold there, hold!
So Howard, as you can see things unfolding for him, he's got a short on and decides to take it. So Geary's kick finds Patton again. Nice kick, opens up the ground. Seb Ross. Little left foot toe poke. He's intercepted and taken to the boundary line for a throw in.
Yeah, Adelaide have started even up the contest work, especially around the clearances, starting to balance that number up a little bit after St Kilda dominated. Matt Crouch has had a great record against St Kilda over the last few years, regularly getting 35 to 40 touches. He's already up to 8 disposals.
And Hartigan back on for the Crows.
The hands are good. Laird weaves his way through and plays it out wide for McAdam. They can get him in the game and using his aerial ability for a small man, and that'll provide us with some excitement. He can certainly leap. He drives it long. O'Brien came from the side. Still sits there. Mackesy was one of the flyers as well. And now we're going to have a ball up. So low-scoring start to this game. A goal each. Of course, the Saints are out of the blocks last week against Fremantle. And we know what happened after that, but been more difficult tonight. Brad Crouch onto it. Gets it deep. Oh, fantastic courage. Mackesy takes the mark. And he's near goal. And now let's hope he can cap it off.
Oh, that was brilliant. So Jake Carlisle got caught up at the stoppage there, and he didn't see Fisher Mackesy sneak out the back, but ultra courageous. How good was that? He knew he had to go. He knew he was in space. That was his opportunity. I love that.
Nick Revolt, Jonathan Brown, two blokes who like that style of mark.
They don't think that's quite in their league yet, let's be honest. As the kick comes in, he's missed it to the right.
That's definitely
that's a great sign, though, isn't it? Young in your career to just to have the intestinal fortitude to be able to put yourself in that situation.
In his 6th game of footy, that's his first scorer behind.
It's interesting playing forward. He came in as a really highly rated young defender. Started the year off as a defender, but had to go forward. Have a look at that.
So a point the difference. The Saints had it all their own way early, and the Crows have fought back beautifully here. This is a real game. Ball over the line, out of bounds. So Hill will take it for St Kilda. Takes off straight away. Nice little chip kick.
This guy's important for St Kilda.
He's been really good inside. Zach Jones didn't have that opportunity up at Sydney with Parker and Kennedy spending so much time in at centre bounce in particular, but he's thriving in that role.
He used to wear the number 35 as a young bloke, a big Robert Harvey fan and St Kilda fan.
So far this year, when he's played well, the Saints have won. He's been fantastic. Seedsman gets the handball going. McPherson. So McHenry.
They're defending really well, Adelaide. Just denying St Kilda clean ball.
Yeah, and that one was telegraphed a bit, and that is great marking play by Geary there. Really good play. Put his body on the line as you'd expect, the captain. And that was a fantastic intercept mark.
Both teams are defending well. Really, aren't they? Setting up well behind the footy.
Saints, of course, with Ben Long out, he's been their #1 intercept possession player, so they have covered him fine so far.
It's one thing reading the ball, it's another thing making sure you get to it and taking the hit at the same time. So over-finessing here, the Saints at the moment, the slippery ball.
You just got to be careful of that. It is slippery ball, as you said, Ed. You just got to simplify your game, especially when you've got ball in hands. Limit those short kicks.
So Clark took them on and he came unstuck. Here's a chance now as the Crouch brothers combine with each other. Lynch turns around, bends it back, and hits the post.
I thought a really good example was Thursday night, Ed. Your boys, Collingwood, who tend to play a shorter kicking style of game. They played to the conditions, whereas Geelong fell into kicking short and backwards and ultimately ultimately that cost him the game. So you've got to play to the conditions, no matter what your style of play is.
So Brownie Patton in the back pocket. Scores a goal each, 1, 2, 8 each. A minute remaining. 3 Crows versus Marshall. Jones, War somehow kept it in, and the Saints have got a real opportunity. There's no one ahead of Butler. He has a look behind. He's got McPherson. He's got 2 on the inside that are his teammates now. It's all about the bounce. Loney, good awareness, and Geary. That's great team play. And Butler got to the square to finish it off. Well deserved.
It was a huge mass of players on the far side of the ground, Brown. It was only really Zach Jones' ability to ride a tackle that set it up. And, gee, they've defended so well, Adelaide. You wonder how a play like Dan Butler is able to get so far goal side and then Loney essentially be uncontested.
Well, the setup there. So Loney, Butler, Brad Hill charging into the open space. Gresham was amongst that as well. Jaron Geary probably the slowest out of those 5. But I like that style, so I wouldn't be surprised if the St Kilda forwards are happy to get up the ground at those stoppages, really, and try and slingshot back.
Yeah, set up that old Pagans paddock, get them up and beat them out the back. They thought their way through that one really well.
He'd be nearly leading the best and fairest, St Kilda, Dan Butler.
I think he would be. Yeah, he's been a really consistent performer. Leading goal kicker for the Saints, that's up to 12 for the year now. Great return for a small forward.
So the Saints have been the #1 team scoring in opening quarters this year, 2-2-14. Lead by a goal with 40 seconds left on the clock. Very good team goal, that last one. So can the Crows get going? The Crouch brothers have been good, but it's been picked off by Hill. This man has been killing them. So Jones goes with a spearing kick. It is a beauty. And King puts the big mitts out, takes it out in front of his face as a good forward does at full stretch.
Boys, battles down in the middle, boys. Battles down, he's hurt.
He caught one in the head. I think it might have been friendly fire. Yeah. Oh, he was too, Paddy Ryder.
Get the Purple Heart for that one.
Geez, good hands there by Max King. That was Rewald-like.
So on the siren, number 12 for St Kilda. Can he really be Rewald-like? Oh, look at that. Just easy as you like. They've kicked the last 2, the Saints. King gets the goal, and they lead by 12 points at quarter time. Fantastic quarter of football. The Crows have turned up to have a real go tonight. 1-2-8. Trail St Kilda 3-2-20 by 12 points at quarter time at Adelaide Oval. The big time, and shows that he has the mettle to make a name for himself. 1-2-8, the Adelaide Crows. 3-2-20, the last 2 goals to the Saints coming in the last couple of minutes in time on. Let's have a look at the St Kilda pressure, though. It has been fantastic.
Well, a learning experience from last week. It was outstanding till quarter time, and then they fell asleep against the Dockers. But so clearly that would have been the first thing listed by Brett Ratton during the week. Let's get our pressure right. Obviously, the Adelaide Crows have been struggling really, but it was outstanding early by St Kilda.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the one controllable. We know when the ball's in motion, your ability to get after the opposition severely impacts their effectiveness, and that was a great start. The challenge now, as you mentioned, is to make sure that you don't have a repeat of the lapse last week. Adelaide, their pressure wasn't terrible either, so they've been the worst team in the competition at applying it. You'd imagine the ball's going to be on the deck a fair bit tonight with the conditions, so plenty of opportunities for players to stake their claim in the pressure stakes.
A lead pressure from the Saints, and a good effort so far in the first quarter from the Adelaide Crows. Now, guys, I want to have a look at Zach Jones here. He's averaging, coming into this game, a career-high 9 contested possessions per game this season. That's per game. Have a look what he did that quarter.
Yeah,
5 clearances out, 7 contested possessions, 10 disposals, 226 metres gained, and he has been sensational.
He's been all over the field, hasn't he, really? Ground ball gets high as well, so inside 50s. He's been really penetrating. St Kilda look like they move the ball a lot better when he's in the team, don't they?
Yeah, well, particularly late. He did all the stuff on the inside at centre bounce, and that last kick inside 50 to Max King. Daniel Talia was about as close as you can be, but there was nothing he could do about it. It was silver service.
Yeah, Yeah, I think, look, Matty Nix be happy with the way Adelaide fought back into the contest. They certainly, I think we were speaking about it 10 minutes into the first quarter, they had one inside 50. Didn't look like going forward at all, but they balanced up around the contest, around the middle of the ground. Matt Crouch has been terrific with 10 disposals. He likes the St Kilda. He likes coming up against St Kilda. He always has high numbers, but Brodie Smith needs to get into the game. Only 2 disposals in the first quarter, been tagged out of by Jaren Geary, really.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job, Geary. So Brodie Smith the last fortnight has been just off the charts in terms of his player ratings as a winger by comparison with the rest of the competition. So identified him as the most dangerous target from the opposition. You'd probably say him or Laird, their ability to use the footy, will find the footy and use it. So Geary's done a good job.
Number 27 there, Tom Lynch. You're supposed to be interviewed by Mark Rasciuto. He better get a kick in this second quarter for fresh airing the man, I can tell you.
The footy director, he mightn't get a contract after that. Tommy Lynch, he's got the job. I think Jake Carlisle's playing on him at the moment. Dougal Howard on Tex Walker. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Big Riley O'Brien competing hard. He's winning the tap-outs against Ryder and Marshall, but hasn't been effective around the ground.
So second quarter from the Adelaide Oval, a venue where St Kilda have tried and failed on 10 occasions to win. They've made a good start here tonight, though. They lead by 2 goals. O'Brien comes right across the middle and then just left it for Ryder to go at. But Chase Jones stole the march, gets Adelaide forward. And look at each other. McAdam flew from one side, and Tex Walker was still standing and did enough to get clear. And he wants to get the crowd up and involved.
He looks involved, Tex, doesn't he? He's clearly come back into the side, so he's fresh, really, and lacking a little bit of leadership, certainly in the forward line. But look at that, that's good energy from a key forward. So he leads up, doesn't get the ball, he turns around and gets there front and centre for the crumb. Good reward.
Well, when you turn aggressively like that, he put his man Howard in a position where he thought like he could assist in the air. The trouble with that is if you go in and he's had no influence there, Howard, you leave your man on the deck who's able to do some damage.
So a good fly from Tyson Stengel there as well. All players having a go in that passage of play in 15 seconds into the second term, and the Crows are back within a goal. Big Tex. Can he get the flex going tonight? Starting to rub his hands together. He's saying, right, maybe this is the night to strike back.
What is the oil gone, Ed? Remember all the players used to get oiled up, their arms?
Well, we saw the
Geelong,
we saw the Geelong boys do it, particularly Dangerfield and Selwood, because no one can tackle them. So away we go with Gresham. Bombing the Saints forward. Oh, look at that beautiful play.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
King just read the ball better than anyone and got to the drop zone before anyone knew where it was.
Rui, I've been really impressed with his contest work so far. He's obviously a skinny kid. He's a great athlete, but the last thing you expect from him to be really strong in a contest this stage of his career. He's done some nice things early in that regard.
So another play from down Sandy Way, East Sandringham, Old Haileybury. Sandringham under 18s. From 51 metres out, have a look at that. If you don't mind, he just caressed it right through the middle. Beautiful kick and goal.
Exciting signs. Gee, when he high points the ball, that's when he's looked really, really good so far this year. He's such a big kid, but gee, this is almost too easy in the end.
Well, it's no mean feat against Daniel Talia. Clearly, he sort of lost his way a little bit there, Talia, but that's a great sign for King, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I like how he uses his height. So up at the highest point there, it's relatively easy. Nice finish.
It's a bit strange from Talia, really, wasn't it? He had front spot and almost was just waiting for the contact to arrive, but judged the ball beautifully. Saw him grass one early. His last 2 contests have been just really clean.
Well, he just kicked 1 goal last week, but he kicked 1 goal 3, and that was actually his most scoring shots for the year. So
he looked like he was on track for a bag early last week.
I think Jared and the boys in the commentary said he was going to kick 6. They might have gone a little early. Maybe it'll be tonight instead. Zach Jones was kind of faking it, I reckon, that he was trying to get rid of that, and the umpire read it the same way. Keys. Hill came in to put some pressure on, but Keys gives it plenty. No free, and McAdam pounced and still pounced on him. Now Wilkie's got the issue, so good group pressure. And that's deemed holding the ball.
No, I reckon he had a chance. Well, don't play on there.
We're it out, both sides. We're it out.
No, I reckon if you have that split second to make the decision, you don't get rid of the ball. I think that's your prior opportunity. I like the way that was adjudicated, Hutto.
We've seen a mix of adjudications during the weekend.
Yeah.
Young Ned McHenry, who was trying to play on there with the advantage. Brownie, he's had 4 behind so far in his career. He hasn't managed to kick a goal yet, so I reckon that was on his mind.
Well, he did then. He kicked the goal, but it didn't count.
Didn't count. Instead, it's Rory Laird, so big kick for him. Game 150. And he kicks well. And keeps the Crows well and truly in this one. You can see the spirit is there amongst the players and the fans and even the injured captain trying to get involved in this.
How do you see this, Rui?
Well, I think any time the umpire sees an arm free with the ball, the trouble is we've seen those paid and we've seen those not let go as well. So finding that consistency has been the issue, I think.
We saw that injury to Josh Battle at the end of the opening quarter. Roo, have you got an update for us?
Yeah, well, he hasn't come back out onto the bench, boys, so he must be getting a concussion test after this huge knock. That was a hard hit. Paddy Ryder and Josh Battle, both very big boys, both well over, Josh Battle 6'4", and have a look at that cut on the eye. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see him again tonight, but at this stage, not back out on the ground.
I think he won that a bit of plastic surgery, that one too. It's a deep cut, that one. It's a nasty one.
He's a tough kid too, Josh Battle.
Okay, Steele, right out of the middle of the ground. Left foot kick up towards full forward. Off hands there. Good play by Paddy Ryder. Hill crashes through, but Kelly's got him. Gone! Oh, I gave him an hour.
Explain that, Eddie.
He had 17 prior opportunities there.
Explain that so that you
I
can
can't
say
explain it.
The last one at the other end of the ground was hot. It might have been there, but it was hot. Yeah. He had 5 minutes to get rid of that, Brad Hill.
I think the umpires are giving the players too long to get rid of the ball this round. Do you feel like it's been a shift towards that?
Well, let's have another look at it. This is in slow motion, so take that into account. Oh, maybe grab him a bit high as well. No, it's a good tackle.
Then it was too high if it was too high, but he was gone by then. Good to hear real people shouting ball again too, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. So Burns trying to get his first kick. So maybe the square up there for O'Brien in the ruck contest.
It's hard to pick those rucking infringements, aren't they? I think it was a swinging out by Paddy Ryder, just got him around the back.
Paddy Ryder wasn't impressed. So here's Kelly, Jake Kelly. Talia, oh, it's off the side of the boot, just stays in. Duday, the captain, acting captain tonight.
Yeah, not a lot down the line there. Only Tex against an outnumber of tall St Kilda players.
So Lynch comes up off the hands of the pack. Mackesy almost went for the big fly again there. Was in good position, but St Kilda get the free kick. So Patton, Caulfield. They've opened it up nicely now. Comes out to Billings. Right out to this side of the ground now. Loney.
They've defended this really well so far tonight, Adelaide. Those outlet kicks, they would have gone to school like Freo did last week, particularly after quarter time. Just took away the outlets, didn't allow that easy transition from the back half.
Crowd acknowledged that's a win for the Adelaide Crows. Held them up across the centre of the ground. So throw in. Just forward of centre wing for the Adelaide Crows. Good play by O'Brien, won his own ruck work. Mackesy almost marked it. It was good play by Clark, though, who roved the ball. Now, off the hands of the pack. It's picked up by Hamill, trying to find a little bit of an avenue forward. Couldn't do so. Butler shins it forward. Hardigan, Talia, the two big men. They get it out, and a good mark has been taken out there by McAdam.
It's a great kick from Talia under pressure.
Oh, McAdam's kick is a shocker. Hill will make him pay, will he? Goes short with the kick. And Loney will line up from 50 metres out.
Yeah, be looking for the quick secondary here. This is right on the threshold distance-wise.
So Jack Loney's kicked 61 goals, 72 in his 69 games of footy. Game 70 tonight, comes in right on the 50, just inside, and he's hooked it. Missed the lot. Good call, Rui. Why do players who can only kick 45 think they can kick 50 when they're aiming at the goals?
We all love a goal, Ed.
You're asking the wrong blokes back there, Ed. Smith kicks deep. O'Brien over the top. Carlisle, Steele. Had a good sense of where there was some teammates, and Hill, smooth moving and beautiful kick normally. Got it safely to Marshall.
Yeah, getting involved, Brad Hill, up to 7 disposals.
Bangs it up towards full forward again. Membry came in from the side. Kent had a crack at it. Talia was always going to be under the pump. Smith knows where Matt Crouch is.
What about the handball by Jake Kelly? Handballed at half a foot. Daniel Talia was on the back foot.
Here, you have it.
Come on, Jake.
You have to watch his brother equal his goal tally in 1 minute of football last week.
Yeah. Well, Jake's played 81 games to get 1 goal. His brother does it in his first kick.
Yeah. Seedsman over the top. Attracted a decent crowd. Saints have got there in good numbers, though, but the Crows from Crouch initially. Not going to go too far.
They're setting up the wall beyond the football, St Kilda at the moment. Just can't get through Adelaide.
Marshall intercepted Smith's kick back to full foot. It's 4-1 against. Membry will fight the good fight, but the Crows, well, they're sure. Whose boots that come off? An Adelaide one.
They're lacking the type of, like a Wayne Miller, who's out injured at the moment. Brody Smith's up playing on the wing, so he's taking the kick in now, but lacking some penetration off half-back, the Adelaide Crows. Rory Laird's off the ground at the moment.
Yeah, Hardigan claims us off his boot. The umpire agreed. So Smith, the Crows have had it all in their defence for the last 5 minutes or so. The Saints are peppering. Howard from 55 lines up the goals and kicks a beauty. That was magnificent. Head over the ball, straight through it. It's a goal.
Yeah, he's got ripping speed for a key defender, this man, Dougal Howard, and he has gone forward at times, certainly in his Port Adelaide career, but what about the jets on him there, Rui?
Well, the drop step to start with from a man that's over 200 centimetres tall is pretty special. The agility bang to wrong foot, a small midfielder, and you're right, he put it 3 or 4 metres on Mackay really quickly there. That's a great finish. He gets one back on Tex. Tex got too early. He gets one back.
Yeah, it's really good. This is a big area there at game they've improved. Have a look at Brett Ratton's improvement. I don't think Rats had to turn a foot like that, that's for sure. They'll admire that, very happy. But the big part of St Kilda's improvement this year is their points they score from the forward half intercepts, really. And that's on the back of probably increased pressure now. They're able to lock the ball in, and probably a better method of the way they do enter inside 50.
Just getting better looks at it too, I think. That play we saw in the first quarter with the paddock, you just get easier shots at goal, much more efficient.
First goal is a Saint for Howard. Crows set up here with Brown. Bangs it to centre half forward. 2-on-1. McAdam came to lend a hand. Keys tried to surge. Now Jones's kick tumbles inside the 50. There's even numbers, so Caulfield just held for a moment by Stengel. Enough for the umpire to blow the whistle. Little cuddle between Jones and Carlisle. They eventually sort things out and then share possession. So 13-point margin to the Saints. There was no margin for error in that kick, but the error came. Now Brody Smith, McAdam's a deep target. He might actually lead up to the footy here. No, that was a strange old kick. It really was. It went in between any possible targets.
This guy's improving, Nick Caulfield, starting to establish his role there at half-back, Rui.
Yeah, him and Hunter Clark have been strong performers this year. Both use the footy pretty well.
So Tully will get the free kick. King not impressed.
Mumbled a few words there.
So Talia bombs it forward. This time at least there's a couple of Crows there. The last kick forward was a strange one, to say the least.
Steve Howard's having a big impact on the game. Kicked the last goal and he's had some strong fists back just to clear the area. There's Rory Sloane. Frustrated he's not out there, the captain.
So they've got it forward. For a rare time in this quarter, the Adelaide Crows have to make the most of it this time. Zach Jones again gets it off the side of the boot. It's out of the bounds on the full. Good pressure again. Caught one in the knee. A little bit sore. So what can the Crows do this time? Carlisle to Jones. It was the last one he wanted. And a free kick. Advantage. They've played the advantage. Oh, the Crows fans don't like that one. I think they might have wanted to have a second look at that one. Anyway, the ball's come out the other side and over the lines it goes. And the umpires realising there is a live crowd tonight. Have a look at this. So the tackle was a good tackle. Probably stumped, to be honest, after he got rid of it. And it was pretty close, pretty sharp from the umpire to call advantage play there. But if the player picks it up and has a kick, fair enough.
They paid the wrong advantage. They needed to give Nick Henry a goal earlier when they took advantage.
So Zach Jones had a great night so far. He's not happy with things at the moment. A bit of a sore knee and a free kick against. He's got another one against him.
He's been busy though. Zach Jones is lively inside midfield.
We might be up for a record tonight holding the ball decisions.
Yeah.
I think he might have gone for the don't argue there.
Yeah, in which case it's a free kick.
So they bomb it forward again, the Crows. Can they get a mark this time? Paddy Ryder gets back Carlisle. They're not going to mark against those guys, you would have thought. Ball bounces around left, right and centre. Stengel twisting and turning. Swings onto the right boot. Kicks it like he's kicked a pillow. And it's gone over the line out of bounds on the full.
We've had 7 holding the ball so far tonight.
Is that up on the round average, Hutto?
I'm not sure. I know yesterday there was only about 3 in the game I did. So the kick is cleared. Walker tried to fist it back in, but instead it's on the outside still, setting Hill on his way. He's eyeing off a little inward kick to Jones, and that was beautifully executed. Now Butler curls one off the outside into the pocket. Now, how's the umpire going to read that? No deliberate, he says. But he is playing deliberate. So we've seen that a little bit with the offensive team gets pinged for deliberate.
Just watch Adelaide bring the ball out of defence. They just struggle to build up here. Can they get some flow into their game?
Looks like
to keep the ball moving here. Josh Battle's back onto the bench. He looks like he might be done for the night.
Yeah. Opportunity through the middle for Hamill for the Crows. And they're on the surge again, although Howard plants his body in the road. Too tall and too strong for Stengel. And uses Caulfield to get it back to Patton.
Better build up by Adelaide, though. I like their intent to move the ball forward.
So, Brady, what are they going to do? They've had 5 long bombs inside 50 and it's come straight back out.
Yeah, well, I think you're going to make smart decisions going inside 50. Clearly, the execution's not there with the decision-making.
Might be better kicking along the ground inside 50 at the moment, small plays.
It's good to go quick off half-back, really, but if you get forward to centre, then you can take a breath, can you?
Well, the kick back into the middle of the ground was a great one because it opened everything up. The trouble was then you were going inside 50 to Stengel on Howard, so he was never going to win that matchup.
So great to see Josh Battle back on the bench. The umpire's call. There's a chance for Membry. Gets the ball first. Nice little handball back to Hill. Hill steps around. Long kick up forward. King goes up. Was it slapped from his arms? In the back. Free kick anyway. Gresham's got it. And we're seeing more in the back free kicks these days as well. First player in getting a little bit of a chance these days. Not just the man dwelling for the tackle.
It almost looked like he just dropped to his knees there, Gresham. He was happy for the Adelaide player to ride him in the back.
That man's starting to have an impact, Brad Hill. Up to 9 disposals now, playing on a half-forward flank, and I like the idea. Brett Radden's obviously set him the challenge, and you have to work hard as that sort of medium half-forward flanker. He's doing that.
So in the back. So the Crows have been brave in the last 10 minutes or so.
Look where he ran to it. He ran to the right-hand point post and kicked it straight. Well,
Just like Jason with us in the commentary.
oh, yeah.
He's struggling with that part of his game, Gresham.
Now, Ben Keys is pretty aggressive. Did he live across the road from you, Brent, at one stage?
He did, yeah. He was
Did you
about
teach
5
him
years
that?
old. No, I would never have taught him that. I blame his mother for that, Ed.
So free kick going to the Adelaide Crows. So let off with that last set shot. Now Brian gets the free kick. Just jabs at it. Here's Keys. He just got it.
Run past him, boys. Get the handball. Big Riley.
They're doing their best to turn this over, the Adelaide Crows. McKay to Keys this time. Gives it a little bit of air. Tunnelling, free kick, St Kilda. So the free kick going the way of Patton, and away go the Saints.
Finds Dean Kent.
Geez, they look shaky off half-back, the Crows at the moment with the ball movement.
That's the trouble. When you get Laird and Smith trying to get them up through the game, higher up the ground, you lose that real bounce off half-back.
Patton Glass, but the mark is taken by Hardigan for the Crows.
Here we go again. There's another chance. Wouldn't say Hardigan's the designated kicker either.
And wouldn't say he's completely decisive about where to head, but he chooses the numbers on the wing, and O'Brien got the arms up and hung on for dear life.
When in doubt, kick it to the big bloke.
And he's handballs this one off, so that's the better decision. Seedsman can roost a footy. There's some interference. And McHenry again on the spot, but it might have been against Taylor Walker.
He's doing well, Big Riley, around the ground. He's won a fair bit of the footy. And really, Ryder's had a bit of impact with his tap stuff, but between him and Marshall around the ground, they haven't found much of it.
It's going to be interesting with what St Kilda do with their rucks all year. Marshall had his lowest disposal game last week in 2 years, but before that he'd operated better as a single ruckman. I think they had to look at Marshall's position, so Riders come in as the ball's deep inside, and Loney, and this man will run all day, but he gets overwhelmed by the numbers. Against Loney's tackle was brilliant. It went unwhistled and rewarded, but there's your reward as Gresham puts it through.
There we go, the strength of St Kilda Footy Club, certainly this season. Loney, Gresham and Butler all within about a 5-metre radius, weren't they? So they're applying an enormous amount of pressure. And this is where a lot of the St Kilda goals have been coming from this year. Good contest here by Max King, terrific. Brad Hill again, a follow-up. He's been good tonight playing at a half-forward flank. Really well done. So that's been a strength there for St Kilda.
You can see the starting position of all the St Kilda small fours there. It was all high, up around the 50 and then charging back towards goal.
Mark Rasciuto.
I was just about to say Ben Keys has done a pretty good job on Jay Gresham, kicking him to 7 disposals and up his bobs with a goal. So you can never get too cocky when you're on a good player like Jade Gresham.
Yeah, missed a set shot and certainly was keen to redeem himself with the snap. He puts it through, and that was a vital goal. Just gives the St Kilda team a nice little 20-point break in the shadows of half-time. Seb Ross gets the kick out for St Kilda. Billings, here's his chance. Another one here will set things right up for St Kilda over the head there of Membry, and a throw-in on half-forward flank. 2 minutes 50 on the clock. So Membry runs down a position. O'Brien will give him the tap. Geary goes in, hard at it, good play. Smith grabbed, umpire lets it go. Good little handball there from Burns. Crouch. Hamill.
Great pressure again by St Kilda. They've been outstanding the forward half of their tackling. 31 tackles this half so far, St Kilda, to 23 to Adelaide Crows, so really good.
So Membry says, I'm going to put this up for you. Get ready, King. Go for it. Off the hands of the pack. The unlikely-looking rover there was O'Brien, and we'll have a throw-in in the forward pocket. 2:11 on the clock.
Always a good sign of work rate, really, when you're winning on the scoreboard, but also winning the ground balls. So it shows you're getting from contest to contest, and you're winning the tackle count as well. Be really happy with the effort St Kilda after they dropped off against Freo last week.
Margin 20 points. And Steele off the left. And he struck that as well. Well, what a surge by the Saints as we head towards half-time.
Interesting to see this. Just wonder whether he's been starting on Brad Crouch, just working off him. You know, Geary's been playing on Brodie Smith, so just a good movement there. That's where you want to be proactive. Came off Matt Crouch that time.
Matt Crouch, and you got to just question the positioning there of Crouch, because he gave up goal side way too easily. So you got to know the midfielder's going to blitz through the clearance in that situation. Needed to put some bodywork in on Jack Steele there, Crouch. You can't just let someone run from the defensive side of the stoppage, particularly in a dangerous part of the ground like that.
Fine first half. He is there. He's the #1 tackler, but he's right up there for involvements in scores for the year so far. He's been a terrific recruit for them, really, hasn't he, Jack Steele?
Yeah, he has 14 disposals, 6 clearances, all of them been effective. 6 ground balls, 11 contested possessions, 4 inside 50s. That's a huge first half by Jack Steele.
Saints have kicked the last 3 goals in the last 12 minutes of play in this second term. 1:55 on the clock. Crouch over the top of it, almost got a shove in the back, and Gresham holds everybody up and sits on top of the ball.
Hands out. Let him go. Let go of the jumper, please. Rowan, Riley, up we go. Here we go.
So the umpire
Lay on.
giving the directions. Oh, Gresham caught one right in the mush there. Your boy Keys, I reckon you did teach him in that. Where were you living up in Queensland, were you?
School of Hard Knocks, Ed. On Harris Street, I think it was.
Harris Street.
Brisbane.
He harassed him there, that's for sure.
That's right.
Here's a chance for Lynch. 50 metres, 50-metre penalty, just what Adelaide needed.
Desperately need this. They've been on to this, the umpires, no doubt about these 50-metre penalties. Players getting in the way of certainly the line of the kick or anywhere near the man of the mark when they shouldn't be. The umpires have been hot on that.
Yeah, so Brad Hill just encroaching. So this should be an easy kick for Tom Lynch. Desperately needs to kick this goal to stay in the game. He comes in from pretty much point-blank range and puts it right through. So the Crows breathe.
Just haven't been able to get any momentum out of the centre, and really haven't had many inside 50s at all. So at least here they get into even numbers forward of the ball. Just a mistake here by St Kilda. They were on top of the game. Brad Hill got confused, tried to jump across onto his Adelaide Crows opponent. A clear 50-metre penalty. The umpires have definitely had an emphasis on that last week or two.
First goal of the night for Tom Lynch, a real bonus for Adelaide, and I wonder if they can sneak another one here and make it really interesting before half-time. Certainly St Kilda fans will be hoping that's not the case, but they can get the crowd involved and keep themselves in the game. Brad Hill, who had a disappointing second half last week, he certainly wasn't alone. Pinpointed the leaders, some of the leaders, Brett Ratton, as to part of the reason they lost that game. They'll be well aware that they have to try and keep the foot down, but it is going to be the Adelaide Crows with the opportunity to go forward. And Keys again. Shuffles wide and then decides to kick wide as well. Oh, and Hamill didn't complete the job, but he's got Duday in support. Sends it forward. Tex flew. Now Ross gets mobbed. Seedsman, and how's the umpire going to read this? It's a baller. 41 seconds on the clock. Steele's able to edge a handball out of there, but Lynch was onto it quickly. Crouch. Indiscriminate handball. His brother will try to tidy it up. The clock working against them now, and the kick worked against them even further as Steele gets it to Jones, and the Saints try and get it out. It's not there yet. 20 seconds and counting. Lynch. Now they get their chance. McAdam.
Last 15 seconds, all you could hear was the Adelaide Crows crowd saying, kick it, kick it, kick it.
Get on your boot. It was better by the Crows. They would have kept the ball alive. The Crouch brothers were important. It's a big kick now to get some momentum. So they'd be very happy with this result if he can kick this. 5 minutes ago, they looked completely out of it. The Crows, they couldn't get any ball forward.
Just kicked 1 goal in his short AFL career. Maturate's draft pick last year, had a bit of injury, then had to work his way through the SANFL, but he's got his opportunity in the famous 23 of the Adelaide Crows. Unfortunately, what would have been a vital goal for them goes begging just on half-time. So they've tried hard, the Crows, but the Saints clearly have the edge at the break. 7-4-46 to 4-2-26. The crowds are back at the footy in Adelaide, but the Saints could be on their way to an experience they haven't had before, which would be a win at the Adelaide Oval.
Would you go chasing Dougal Howard, right?
Not very good. Not very good. No. It's a great goal he kicked.
Great goal and a good first half. It's pretty tight out there.
Yeah, it is. You know, the Crows got 2 goals from centre bounces, so we've got to just make sure that we just stiffen up a little bit behind the ball from that scenario. But I think, you know, our opportunities are there, and our smalls look really dangerous at ground level if we can get the ball to ground. And you know, Butler and co have really energised those plays.
Good luck in the second half.
Thanks, mate.
Well, coaches are never completely happy, but 20 points up. He'll be pretty satisfied with the way they're going about it, Brownie. Can you tell us who are the Saints of 2020?
Yeah, it's interesting. You actually look at they're ranked highly in a lot of numbers. So the mark plan rate, have a look at that. So a tendency to want to get the ball moving quickly. But tonight that rate is down to 18%. So they're trying to play with a little bit more control, maybe not protect the defence, but allow the defence to set up behind in case they do turn the ball over. So a lot of strengths there, and they're able to really score. It's touched on it at half-time. Rui did with the boys in there, and Sarah, and also Brett Radden spoke about the small forwards. If they can just get the ball to ground and give them an opportunity. Loney, Gresham, Brad Hill's been in there. Butler, of course, has been a real strength for St Kilda this year especially. So the turnover going from forward half has been where they've been able to get a lot of the scores going this year. So Brett Radden would be happy with that in the first half.
What about the big guys up for the Saints, Rui?
Yeah, he's not going so. There's that man, Tim Memory. He hasn't been able to get amongst in this first half. He's only had the 2 disposals, but they're not getting outmarked, which is the most important thing. Talia, Hardigan, even O'Brien down there, they're not allowing them to take the intercept marks and keep the ball moving. So that's been a strength. Tim Memory looking to get into the game, though, with only 2 disposals in the first half.
Only 5 one-on-ones for both teams combined in the forward 50, which is a really small number. So it's just been a lot of dump kicks into a big mass of plays, which has made it hard for the big forwards to really get involved. But Memory will look to probably get a bit higher because he's the one St Kilda forward that's been really dangerous for the entire year so far.
So Paddy Ryder opens the third quarter in the ruck for the St Kilda Football Club, and away we go. And Ryder does it all on his own and does it again. Steele thumps it forward. Seb Ross over the top of it for St Kilda. Steele in as well, and we'll have another ball up.
Nick spoke about it at half-time, the Adelaide Crows. He was happy with their intent around the contest, so they're able to even up their contest numbers, the contested possession numbers, ground ball numbers, so they were better in that regard in the second quarter.
Another stalemate. Umpire lets it go as long as he can and pulls out a free kick, gives it to St Kilda. So Smith deemed not to have tried hard enough to get the ball out, and it's the captain of the Saints, Geary, with the ball. He bombs it high up in the air. Need a high flyer. Membry from behind thumps it front and square as Keys for the Adelaide Crows has been good tonight. Comes out to Seedsman, who's been pretty busy as well. What can Stengel do here? He twists and turns and finds some space and does it nicely. Then the chip kick was absolutely superb. Now a chance for the Adelaide Crows to get something going as Jones bombs it long. The chase is on here. Smith, can he get there? He can. He goes off the ground. Will it have enough legs? No, it won't. It rolls to the goal square, and it's Caulfield who's able to pick it up for St Kilda. Now the ball goes over the line out of bounds. An appeal for intentional. No go, says the umpire. Throw it in. But the Crows have opened up with a bit of vim and vigour.
Yeah, it looks like the intent off half-back was better than by the Crows. Second quarter, they really struggled to move off half-back. They were too slow. They tried to play on there through Stengel. He got the ball moving through the centre of the ground. That's good. Obviously a direction by Matty Nix at half-time.
Ryder took front position and kept it. Steele edges them along the line. Good body work by Hardigan, and it's ticked off by the umpire.
The man there, I expect that he would have said at half-time. Yeah, Matty Nick's back up at half-time, but I expect the direction to his team would have been just be brave with the ball, take the game on off half-back.
They've looked really dangerous when they've been able to brawl, bring the ball back in through the corridor, and you just give the forwards a much better look at the footy. You got all the ground to work in.
Interesting disposal by O'Brien in the ruck, and now Marshall is trying to convince the umpire. Well, he was able to convince him as the ball came loose. And we'll have a throw in.
Pretty good tackle, that one.
Was maybe a fraction fortunate from the throw. O'Brien slaps it down. Gresham found a way through. It was an indiscriminate kick, but beautifully marked by the skipper of the night, Uday.
Plays that role so well. Intercept marking across half-back.
Into the one-on-one. There's a mismatch in size there, O'Brien, but Steele was not the man you want to try and get away from. Terrific pressure he brings time and time again. And now Jones gets Billings and plays it back to Steele. Wobbles one wide and might have cost himself a kick there, Hardigan, by touching it. It's gone out of bounds.
Yeah, Brody Smith to the tag, but St Kilda skipper Jaron Geary's been on him majority of the night. Worked into it in the second quarter, started to get his hands on the football.
And Billings gets it down to Clark, who's doing circus acts there on centre wing. Couldn't quite control it in the end, another throw in.
I think he'll get a job with the Harlem Globetrotters in the back of that one. Ed?
Matty Crouch, 17 disposals. Have you seen his game the first half, Rui?
Ineffectual so far. He's found a lot of the footy, but hasn't been all that productive with it.
So Siegeman again. In goes Gresham for St Kilda. He's held up. Now comes out Siegeman, twisting and turning, flicks the ball in. Good stuff. Keys. Handball's over the top. McKay's kick up inside 50. Tex Walker has to fly, but that's a good strong mark by Carlisle.
I think that's the motivation for getting players like Brody Smith up through the middle of the ground, is just to try and get a bit more productivity out of your ball winners.
So Carlisle, without much penetration, kicks to the wing position, or close enough to it, and Butler takes it to the line, throw in.
They don't need a few more of those types, don't they?
Yeah,
the Smith-Laird type players.
Well, that's what you're looking for, a young Chase Jones. You're hoping to walk away at the end of this season and say, yeah, geez, Chase Jones showed a fair bit there. He brought some class and some speed in around that midfield group.
Steele constricted that time. Almost triple tackle, and his foot went up,
yeah.
So that's the free kick going against Steele. Out to Seedsman and then to McAdam. Central ball. There's even numbers there at least, but Caulfield came back off Lynch and took an excellent mark, and he's getting better and better.
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times tonight, Hutto. He actually had one mark taken off him. Tex Walker got a free kick earlier in the game.
He's their best intercept marker this year, and he's showing that again tonight. The kick goes out to the wing. O'Brien slapped it on the boot and got it inside again, but again the Saints have the extra body there, although Wilkie made a meal of it. Lynch pounced and then delivered to Taylor Walker, who has had 2 kicks for 2 goals so far.
Dougal Howard not happy either, boys. He's punching his fist and say, take the ball out.
Yeah, well, you do feel for him. He's actually had a pretty good game. Big Dougal Howard. You know, Tex had the gift early of that free kick that wasn't Dougal's fault, and gee, this one you feel like you've won the footy. You make position to get on the end of it yourself, and all of a sudden.
Oh, we know he's dangerous from anywhere. He's usually a beautiful kick, Taylor Walker, but that went right through the middle between the goals and the behinds, unfortunately. And so that's one before halftime and one after that Adelaide could have made quite a difference on the scoreboard with.
So Caulfield in the back pocket. As Hutto says, has missed opportunities from set shots. Hardigan's stump was a good one. Billings' kick from the front and square position. Free kick. Kelly. And 50. Is it? No. Disguised it well enough there, Membry.
Cheers, lucky.
Just
lucky. That's
It should have been 100 metres.
That's where the umpire's just got to blow the 50 there. Quicken the game up. Clearly the player's trying to waste time. Smart by Kennedy gets away with it.
Duday.
Not smart if he doesn't, Brownie.
Not smart if he doesn't, but yeah, the umpire's got to be onto that.
Yeah.
Know the intent of the player.
It's not like there's a roaring crowd or anything either. Good crowd in tonight, though. 25,000 as best you can.
You suggest they're a bit quiet, Ed?
No, they're a bit quiet. Certainly the umpire would have. Everyone heard the whistle, that's for sure. Out the full, so Kelly gets the free kick from half-back.
Well defended again from the Crows, because you could see the Saints' desire was to bring the ball back in through the middle of the ground, and it was all closed down, so you forced a long kick down the line.
So Kelly hoiks it up, looking for his big ruckman there in O'Brien, who takes it to the boundary line and knocks a few over. That's all the ruckman needs to do in that situation.
Any crowd's a good crowd.
Any crowd's a ripper at the moment.
Big effort by Riley O'Brien tonight, rucking against Marshall and Ryder. He'll have to do it for the majority of the night.
Clark tried to wheel his way through. Got something on it. Not enough today. Just a slight hesitation step. And the hand pass put McPherson under the immediate pump. They're passing the pressure from one to another. Hardigan can change all that to Crouch through the middle, and McPherson back on the job again. Out to the wing now. Kate thought about and then delivered well. Stengel protected the drop of the ball. Howard tried to come off his man but couldn't.
Absolutely. So no doubt the intent by the Adelaide Crows been better to get the ball moving off half-back. I think they would have been directed by their coach at half-time to be braver, to get the ball moving. They were so slow off half-back, trying to go for the uncontested marks for their kicking game. They flicked the ball on by handball this quarter, early in this quarter, and it's worked well from so far.
Just 1 goal, 2 in 2 games for the former Tiger. Massive kick for the Adelaide Crows, and he knows it. It's clearly not going to be a goal. It stayed there for a moment or two, and Taylor Walker threatened, but they can't capitalise, it seems, on their opportunities right now, to the frustration of that man.
What gave them the best chance there is you break one of those tackles on the front line. So St Kilda's pressure looked really good. They were at them, but then you break through that line, bust through a tackle. It opened right up through the middle of the ground.
3 very gettable set shots from the Adelaide Crows. 3 behinds, but they're going to get another crack at it here.
4th intercept mark. Tom Duday, the standing captain tonight.
Need a high flyer. Tex is the man. Play on, says the umpire. Thought he had enough of it. Tex twisting and turning, tries to get it out. Here's Fisher Mackesy. Good kick to the top of the square. Was he being held? No, says the umpire.
Certainly might have been.
Stengel might have got the free kick.
The umpire was in a good position. He looked like he had an arm of Stengel, Nick Caulfield. That man, Tom Duday, working his way into the game nicely.
So he's finding it himself, and gee, Tim Membry, just the 3 disposals so far tonight.
They've been pressing and pressing, Adelaide. Here's their big moment. Stengel tracking the ball. In goes Tex Walker. He gets shoved out of the way. Goes again. Knocks it out into a dangerous position. Keys almost had his knees taken. Billings has grabbed it out the ball. Free kick, surely. There's a couple there. The advantage was paid. No 15, says the umpire. So Gresham holds on well. Didn't panic. That was a great kick up towards his teammate in Burns, and he gets his free kick and a first kick in footy.
Yeah, that's a good result by St Kilda. The reason Jack Steele didn't want to blast it clear of the area was because Adelaide Crows had set up the wall behind. He would have kicked it straight to a Crows player. So that's a good result by the Saints. Jack Steele, he's having a huge night. That's his 20th disposal.
He kicks it up towards Membry, who hits it hard. Billings just thrown out of the way by Kelly, I think it was. In he goes on hands and knees, does well. Talia, up and under. Mackesy getting into the play now. Good play. Lynch. Keys. Mackesy looks out wide. Flicks it over his head. Here's a chance. McKay into the open goal. Must kick a goal for any chance, and they've mucked it up again. 4 shots in a row. 4 sodas. 4 behinds.
He's got to eat those ones, Ed.
Yeah, that's where you get some scoreboard pressure on. You're away from home. If you're the Saints, the crowd gets involved all of a sudden. You start to get a little bit twitchy. How good was the handball from Mackesy, just over the head to find McKay to open him up. And gee, this man's lifted in this third term.
7-1 the inside 50s, the Adelaide Crows. So the ball's been playing there forward half. He's been terrific.
Could have been easy. 52 against Big Paddy.
Duday blasts away into the pocket. Carlisle on the reach. Brad Crouch. Butler. Is that deemed deliberate? Yes, it is. There's a bit of the crowd getting involved. And there's Butler again, just a fraction slow in returning it to McHenry.
Is it the noise of affirmation?
Well, I'm not sure. Cuts the kick back in. Good reach defensively. Now McHenry. Oh, he went into his move early. Was he tackled high? If he wasn't, it's holding the ball, but it is high. And the kid's going to get his chance here.
Yeah, he was unlucky, but it was definitely a free kick there. They need to convert here, Adelaide. Yeah, use the momentum. They've dominated this quarter, haven't they?
Absolutely. Look at the last inside 50s there.
Well, his last kick went about 17 metres.
Pick 16, 2018.
Doing the right thing here, Hutto, just taking his time.
Twice kicked 2 behinds in matches. What a time this would be for his first goal. What a time! There's no time like the present. Oh, it was touched right on the line.
We're all cheering that home.
Five consecutive behinds.
Well, they've got to continue to just grind away here, the Adelaide Crows.
In fact, there's 4 behinds and 1 out in the full.
They've locked the ball inside their half of the ground, so St Kilda can't work their way out. At some point in time, you've got to get reward for effort. What you can't allow here is a quick transition goal.
The Saints fans are all nervous. They know that they can crack at any stage. Boy, do they need a goal at the other end just to relieve the pressure valve.
This is probably a good result by St Kilda. This is one area of the game one area of the quarter they've actually been winning is around the clearances. So get the reset. Be happy with that.
Pressure building here on this game. It is an absolute beauty. Here we go. Crouch. Did he get a shove? No, says the umpire. Lynch on hands and knees. Down to Keys, who just slams it on the boot. Who's there for the Crows? Nobody. Beautiful mark again by Dougal Howard, who's played a great game tonight.
Hey, he's been solid.
That's got to be smashed to the ground, though. You've got 2 players, 2 key forwards there from the Adelaide Crows. They need to impact that contest. Dougal Howard cannot be allowed to mark that uncontested.
Are they setting up in the right places at the moment, Jono, the 2 tall forwards? Are they too far up or too far back?
Too far up in that case.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to compete strongly.
So Hartigan, who's been pretty good except for that handball, he's let that one go, and Membry says, I'll just kick it long and hope for the best. Chases on now from Brown, picked up by Gresham. That was good football. You can see what's going to happen here, can't you? Up it goes towards the full forward position, off hands, and Butler kicks the goal. You can read it like a book.
Well, that's exactly what we said. The one thing you couldn't allow if you were Adelaide was the quick transition goal up the other end of the ground. So dominate play for the last 10 minutes, 10 inside 50s for 4 behinds. And an out on the full.
Look at Gresham standing back there. So he isolated himself. He's getting tagged by Ben Keys. So that's a good move. Keys getting on top of Gresham this quarter especially. So he disconnected from the play. Gresham's there, one-on-one situation. So they had the confidence just to blast it forward, knowing they had that one-on-one, and it worked.
We've seen Dusty do that at times, haven't we? Regardless of the position of the ball on the ground, he just goes and isolates himself deep. And what it does is it gives you confidence to just be able to blast the ball, because you know you've got representation.
What if that was a coaching call, or Gresham decided out there, there's the Coleman medal race, Dan Butler. It's a small forwards race, really. Charlie Dixon's fighting hard. He's fighting the good battle for the key forwards.
Get the smalls out of there.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
He might be in front by the end of the night, Dan Butler, the way he's going.
What a wonderful recruit has been.
Of course, you're cheering for the shorter people. Hutto.
Absolutely, Brownie. Sick of you, buffets. Kick goes up forward.
Are we allowed to call you pygmies?
No. It's close to the boundary line. No. It's over and out.
Crows' pressure, boys, has really picked up in this game. They were 18th in the competition before coming in today, and right up there in the elite bracket in the third quarter, both sides, which just shows how good a game this is on Monday night footy.
Brew, what does your forward line have to do to get a mark inside 50?
Well, if the ball went down there a little bit better, it might be a bit handier, but at least they're getting the ball in there. They haven't been doing that this year. 10-1 or 10-2 now in this third quarter, so at least they're getting the ball down there, Ed. That's a start.
It is.
So 22 points is the margin. The clock becomes the enemy at some stage. Oh, good thrust forward by McKay and Laird. So the experienced Crows really trying their darndest to get their team up forward, and with that opportunity to score as Lynch and Howard have a bit of a tangle.
Howard's been good, Hutto.
Yeah, he's been strong.
So, Owen. O'Brien put it down. Crouch to half forward. They can't get beyond at the moment. Howard again. McAdam put the wraps around him. Patton to Caulfield, and they try and link off. And link up. Oh, McHenry was able to get his body in front of the miss kick. In front of experience he had there on Burns. A handful of games more.
That's a head shake of those kicks, aren't they? 10-metre kick sideways.
You could see what was ahead. There wasn't much for him, so he went short and wide to Stengel. And it's over and out.
That's the trouble. They're not really getting great value for that long kick inside 50, are they, Adelaide? So you start to try to manufacture something, look for the short, invite the St Kilda defenders in.
So throw in 55 out. Paddy Ryder goes for the big spike and misses. Has another go at it. Kicks it forward. Good play. Great pickup by Membry. Hill over the top, and here comes St Kilda. Seb Ross twisting and turning, well, half twisting and turning. That's dropping the ball all day. Free kick, good tackle, well done. So McHenry's in there having a real crack.
Yeah, they can go here. They've got even numbers ahead of the ball.
Hold.
Just haven't got a lot out of these short kicks off half back.
Move it on. Play on.
Allows St Kilda to set up behind the ball.
So Laird goes around the outside.
Play on.
Brown.
Hold.
Talia on half back. 22 points the difference. Haven't scored a goal this quarter. The last four, sorry, the 4 of the last 5 goals going the way of St Kilda. Oops. Hardigan confused everyone, including himself. Brown, now they're in trouble. Saints pressing up nicely here. This is good defensive play by St Kilda, and it was always going to turn over. Now the chance is on as Clark goes long and strong. Gresham waits underneath it. Membry couldn't quite get the mark there on that occasion. Gresham was really good, and that's intentional, surely.
It's got to be. Yeah. Good pressure by Gresham, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. He wanted that one.
See, the small forwards have been outstanding.
Loney's picked his pocket, though.
Yeah, he has too. Loney, Gresham, Butler.
Well, if you were Jack Loney, he would have been running away and letting the right footer have the shot.
Well, it was his kick anyway. He was the closest to the boundary line. He tackled him. Anyway.
Hang on. Wait. Play on.
What's he thinking, Jack Loney? So that's... Well, good teams don't do that.
Yeah, no, they're the little things. That still haven't worked their way into the group yet.
Yeah.
Play on. Walking
Keys. 2 minutes remaining. Sits at 22 points at the moment. Lots of St Kilda hands all over that one. Geary trying to battle it forward. Marshall. Good pressure still from the Crows, but McAdam. And now out to Hill. Darting back on the interior, looking to get another kick forward. In the end, he just rushed one, as you saw, and it's gone into the crowd.
Good pressure. I want to see a sense of urgency here from Adelaide, because they get a late one here, the Crows. They've dominated this quarter. St Kilda have been efficient when they've gone forward, but 10 inside 50s to 3. The game's in their hands at the moment, Adelaide.
Great mark from Ryder, and amongst a number of players from the Crows. So that's a good, strong grab, and the Saints will be happy just to monopolise possession here late in the third.
They've just got to come to ground, those. You've got to give your smalls a chance.
Patton. You can see what his options are. They're minimal, just down the line. O'Brien from the side, had a good side on it. Mark not paid to King. He was quick enough to get a handball away, but that's got to be... Yeah, free kick to Adelaide. They take the advantage running backwards.
That's junk, Hutto.
It is.
That is absolute junk.
Just an appetite to get a possession in some ways and not thinking through it as clearly as they would have liked. But they're under the pressure. They're out there doing battle, and right now they've got to find a way forward. O'Brien does take the mark.
Well done.
And then handball, so they've got 45 seconds. Crouch back to Walker. It's going to be haphazard at best. It's play on, and McAdam now, what's the read? Is Geary, has he got to show the umpire something? He had to, and he didn't. There's a chorus of approval from the Adelaide fans.
Okay, just back on Crouch there for a moment. So junk ball going back, playing on to the advantage going backwards, and then running onto your wrong foot receiving the handball. So, yeah, just got to be better there from an experienced player.
Hutto, it's deja vu all over again.
He had the chance before half-time, and he'll know that better than anyone. Shane McAdam has only experienced one goal in AFL football. But right now, there's a lot of weight on his shoulders as he comes in. Adelaide need it, and Adelaide get it!
Well done.
Missed last time. He wasn't going to let that one slip. And the Crows, after dominating the quarter with territory and possession and opportunity, finally have something to show for it. And the game is alive for Matthew Nicks and the Adelaide Crows on Monday Night Football. So it's Monday Night Football, and the scene is set for a big last quarter. The Saints, of course, who started so well last week, and then Fremantle came over the top of them in the third quarter. They had a late charge to try and win the game. It was a heartbreaking finish for them last week, but they've put all that behind them. They've played very well against the Adelaide Crows. But the Crows certainly were strong in that third quarter then, Jonathan Brown.
Yeah, they were, absolutely. So 11-3 the inside 50 count. But no doubt Matty Nicks said to them at half-time, boys, move the ball, be braver off half-back. We saw a shocking display in the second quarter where they just chipped the ball around, didn't take any ground. Well, clearly, here's their intent. Just play on, get the ball moving, flick the ball on by hands, and something will open up. And they did this throughout the quarter, and they were able to find the inside 50s a hell of a lot more. So this is one of their good examples of their ball movement, Rui.
Yeah, well, there's always risk-reward with these plays, so they invited a bit of that St Kilda pressure, but once they were able to break through that front line, this has been a bit of the issue for the Saints, is they get scored on turnover pretty easily. And if I'm Matty Nicks, I'm saying to the group, hey, we've got them right where we want them at the moment. We absolutely smashed them in that third quarter, dominated inside 50s. The only thing we didn't do was execute. So we look at some of the misses here, some of the points that they kicked, but also just some of the shots on goal that failed to register completely. If we can rectify that and dominate field position like we did, well, then we'll storm home over these Saints.
Absolutely. A quick tick to Tom Duday, standing captain tonight. He was terrific in the third quarter. 7 disposals, had the 7 marks from opposition kicks, so it's terrific. Down to Mark Mashuda.
Cow, the back line were under pressure a lot there in the third quarter.
Yeah, they came at us. Obviously, we knew they were going to, come out of a half time and bring it to us, and we held this, we held the flow pretty well. So happy the boys to get the third quarter time and reset from there.
What did Rat say at three-quarter time? What is he asking for the last quarter?
It's just going to be a grind. We know it's going to be a grind. They're going to, come out again at the beginning of this quarter. So he just wants us to, keep being hard at the contest, get that ball moving, get it forward.
Oh, good luck, mate, in the last one.
Thanks, mate.
Boys, what have you thought of the contentious holding the ball, holding the man rule at the moment? The free kick count is 13 Adelaide to 5 St Kilda.
I think the Saints fans aren't happy about it.
No, those stats brought to you by Shane Keith-Ward.
Clearly from a St Kilda supporter.
Oh, Brucey Eva, my phone's blowing up over here. Well, they've gone both ways of holding the ball decisions, but I've got to say, I'm really confused by them. It is a complete lottery, I feel, at the moment. Every time you go into a situation where a player's caught with the footy, it could go either way.
And the in the back it's 2 to Adelaide and 6 to St Kilda, so a little bit there as far as first man in. I like that one more, don't you? If at least protect the ball goer.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when they brought the holding the ball, the change of interpretation 3 weeks ago, there was too many in the backs missed. They've been able to tidy up on that, the umpires, but just the inconsistency of the holding the ball decisions has been the main one. I feel as if they've held the whistle a bit too often the last couple of rounds.
So big last quarter ahead. The Adelaide Crows still searching for their first win of the season. The Saints, if they are going to be finals contenders this year or maybe even more, this is the sort of game they simply have to win. And they know that, we know that. Let's see how it plays out. It's 8-4-52 up against 5-6-36 as we get into the final term.
So away we go. Paddy Ryder in against O'Brien. The Saints through Steele over the top to Gresham. Beautiful kick inside 50. Gives his, I think it was King there, every chance. That's in the back. No, says the umpire. So the Saints get one back there. And Kelly has given away the free kick. Wow. Yeah. Well, they missed the first one, so the second one was on, but I thought Kelly might have been a bit unlucky on that occasion.
It's just a lottery, Ed.
Let's have a look here. So Kelly goes down, straighten his back.
He dived on it.
Yeah.
That's the umpire.
Once you go to ground, you're in trouble, aren't you? So fair enough. So Dean Kent. Six shots at goal from this position for one major. Make it two. It's a big opening goal to the Saints.
It's an important finish, Brownie, just to settle a few of those nerves. If Adelaide had have come out and got the first one, and all of a sudden you're back to 10 points, and you start to twitch a little bit. Interesting, Marshall has been moved forward now out of the square. They'll try and get something out of that second ruckman they've brought into the contest, but it's a real nerve settler, that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And you would feel that. The first person to have the shot after three-quarter time would absolutely feel that for St Kilda after they lost momentum. Good centre bounce there by St Kilda. It's really well executed from the tap all the way down to the clearance. Jake Gresham had the clearance there. Dean Kent, I love that. He's able to go back and steal himself, like you said, really would have felt the pressure. He survived the pressure. Now he's got his team back on top.
His fifth goal for the season, just his fifth game. And they've had the edge when the ball's been on the ground, and there to be one. 9-4 plays 5-6. O'Brien, Brad Crouch is onto that steal, wearing him so closely, maybe too closely that time.
I feel as if Steele's been on Brad Crouch for the majority of the night. Steele's had big numbers, 22 disposals, 10 clearances. So
Crouch only 11.
Crouch 11, yeah. So that's underrated, that performance today.
Oh, he fooled Steele and got inside and kicks towards McAdam, who flew at it with intent. Caulfield, though, was clean. Jones buys some time. It's going to come back off the boot of Tom Lynch. Pretty crowded ahead. Tried to soften the kick a bit to favour the lead of Walker. Carlisle right there with him. And it's back over and out. 5 disposals for Tex Walker. 2 goals, 1 has been his return. Still a 22-point margin. Crowds are back at the Adelaide Oval. O'Brien. Now Stengel from the corner. McAdam couldn't get a clear run at Howard's height advantage. Played to St Kilda's favour on that occasion.
Just the inside 50 count. Adelaide's had more inside 50s, really, 30 to 25. So St Kilda's been incredibly efficient when they've gone into the forward line. 9 goals, 4 from those 25 entries.
Well, that's been a strong suit all year. So they're 4th in the comp for efficiency or scores when they do get it in there.
So the umpire, very shallow throw in. Free kick to Steele, caught one high.
BAG tonight. Jack Steele, he's been outstanding. 10 clearances. I think he's been doing a pseudo tagging job as well on Brad Crouch. He's kicked a goal. He's had the 4 tackles himself.
Excellent game of football. That kick not so good. O'Brien couldn't quite hold on to it. That's almost holding the man there to Brown. Umpire said play on. And we'll have another ball up.
Back this way, guys. Thanks, Dan. Back this way, Riley. Paddy, back this way. Screw it out, Brad.
So eventually the umpire throws it up, and Seb Ross is thrown to the ground, and the umpire lets it go. So the kick comes out from Hunter Clark. King flies high. Good tackle from Grisham. That opened up for Butler. That was great play The chance for Kent again and kick the last goal of the match. High tackle. So Talia will clear for the Adelaide Crows from defensive 40. Nice flick here, look at that from Butler, just over his head, right into the spot, didn't quite sit for Kent. Paddy Ryder thumps it back. Carlisle looks out wide, that was good vision, gets it out to Billings. Billings now on the left foot, goes short to the forward 50, off hands from Marshall over the line, out of bounds. No, won't go out. Talia gets unloaded as he kicks forward, and Steele, a rare blemish tonight. Lynch kicks to the middle of the ground, and away they go. Stengel can go all the way, decides to go long and strong, looking for McAdam, who did well, or did well enough at least. And the umpire's paid the free kick for the arm chop. And he'll go back and have a shot.
50, I think.
So McAdam, who was a little bit nervous up this end just before half-time, greatly accepts the 50. Should put him over the fence from there, shouldn't he? Anyway, comes in and kicks the goal. And the Crows fight back in.
Well done to Tommy Lynch, because the ball on the far side of the ground, he can see what's open and just rolls. So really smart play. They need to score, and they need to score quickly. And experienced head brought the ball back into the corridor. It's amazing how different the Crows have looked tonight when they've actually been able to get the ball into that part of the ground. They look really threatening.
And Nick and Brownie, what do you think of the two ruckmen for St Kilda? Should they be doing it for the rest of the year? They've only had 11 touches between them, but they have won the clearances 30-23. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think philosophically, Roo, it comes down to what you place the value on, because Paddy Ryder's clearly the better tap ruckman of the two. But he seems, the sum of both parts doesn't seem to equal what Marshall can do around the ground when he rucks solo. So he, for me, stands out like a guy that loves the responsibility of being the main man, and that's when he's played his best footy.
Burns started in the middle of that time for the Saints, but he didn't get them going too fast. So McAdam's going to run. He doesn't get the jump. Walker competed. He pays himself the mark. No one else did. The umpire didn't text. Wake up, and he has just got the handball away.
Oh, who else touched that?
I thought he marked that.
And there's the chorus of boos from the crowd.
Wow, I want to see that one again.
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone else got a touch on that.
Okay, goes short. There's a strange decision to go short to Matt Crouch on a lead like that. And
Oh, no, that's missed opportunity there.
Here it comes.
That is every day of the week.
It's a ripping mark.
That is a rip. Any player would hate that, but especially as a key forward.
Steele dumps it off. Billings, well trapped by McKay, curls it back again. Just a bit too tall even for the ruckman.
Key forward going back at the flight of the ball, taking a big contested grab and disallowed. I don't think the umpires have had the greatest night. He's the non-mark.
Up he goes. It's a clear mark. It's a beautiful mark.
Well, we see those paid where the defender even gets a little go on it.
Yeah, and we all say, well, fair enough.
Well, the Crows fans are up and about now. 16 points, still 11 minutes in this game. Up towards Walker. This time he marks it, says umpire. Take that off me. Take that one off me.
He can kick this too. He's got the trip, absolutely. He loved this situation. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, no, it's Howard. Wow, we want to see him thump this one.
Have to change the ball, I think.
Let's get rid of this ball. Can we stop it with that one?
He wants a fresh ball.
Ball's got blood on it, I think.
Gee, Howard gave Zach Jones a fearful spray there. He wanted him to take the body when he was coming back.
He's not a happy man at the moment. He gave away the 50 before, Dougal Howard, when he didn't think he dragged the arm down, but the replay showed he probably had.
At least they were brave with the kick. So Taylor Walker leads inside to centre forward, which, you know, normally you'd be reluctant to kick the ball there in case you turn it all over, it goes straight down the other end. But they need to win the game down Adelaide Crows. So I like the direction of the kick. It was brave, and Tex was good enough to take the big contested grab and go back and kick the goal now.
So Tex Walker has been handed the new ball at the Adelaide Oval.
He loves them from here, boys.
He needs to get all of this 55 metres through. What do you reckon?
I'll have $1 on it.
Here it comes. This one looks like it's been kicked in too. Kicks across the face of the goal.
There's a left
through for a behind.
There's a left footer's ball, Larry. It's the wrong side. Geez, he normally eats those ones. Not too much time to think about it.
So 13 scoring shots apiece here. 15 points the difference. The Crows have played well. Can the Saints hang on?
Big numbers at the landing point of the kick in, and it's just edged over and out.
So Crows dominating inside 50s again. 6-3 in this quarter after 11-3 in the third quarter. Just got to find a way to get reward. One-on-ones in front of the footy. You get a good look at it there.
You can see that, can't you, Jones? Just off to the stoppage to the right. So here are the one-on-ones, and Caulfield reached over Lynch. It was line ball. And instead it's McKay who wins the free, and he's been working hard for his team. His fourth disposal of the quarter is coming up. It's a handoff. Siegeman has a mighty kick. It's not mighty enough. It's a free kick. Oh, the Tex. He's got the square up now.
Do you reckon the replay on the scoreboard?
They see the no.
Well, this is becoming a big storyline, isn't it, Tex? His return game.
Oh,
been,
man.
As you said, Ed earlier called much maligned, certainly for his performances early in the season. Was there a lot in there?
So 2 goals to the left boot of Taylor Walker. He's got it! The Texan kicks the big goal! And it's on now.
What are the St. Kilda players feeling at the moment? They've lost the last 10 in a row against the Adelaide Crows. They've got to stiff the Crows. That man's up and about. And you can tell he energised the team. He certainly energised the crowd. Oh, geez, he played that well, Tex. He just fell over. The umpire's have had a bad night. There's no two ways about it.
Well, the Crows have got all the momentum here. Since half-time, it's 19 inside 50s to 6. So the game is being played in their half of the ground.
Happened last week.
Yeah, it's
St. Kilda fell over, didn't they?
same story, it seems. Slightly different scoreline, but
This is where you want your leaders to stand up. So guys that have played a lot of footy, Seb Ross, Brad Hill, Jaron Geary, you got to arrest a little bit of control back here.
Crows have lost their last 9. It's been the best part of a calendar year since they saluted. They're finally at home with the crowd. Can they lift now? Keys was over the top of the ball. It was still. He got it out to Gresham. Good play. Gresham handballed it out. Just got the boot on the ball. There was Patton. Up it goes to the forward 50 off hands. Hartigan. Membry for St Kilda. Bends over. Gets the handball out. Loney went without it. Desperate play and a rush behind, and they can line up from full back. So Duday, the captain of the Adelaide Crows tonight, has ball in hand. Under 9 minutes left on the clock. The crowd's back at footy, and so too is the tension as Duday goes long and strong up towards Walker. Went up with the one hand, did enough. Laird fall to the ball, cop one in the back. Oh, dropping the ball, he said. Wow.
Right on that one.
Gee whiz.
Rory Laird playing an half-forward flank, trying to add some speed and liveliness to the Crows forward line.
So Paddy Ryder's got it. He bombs it long. Big mark required here. Off hands, punched away by Duday. At the fall of the ball, Billings was fantastic. Butler just chips it to the top of the square. Up they go, Membry! No! Umpire says another rush behind.
It might have been a ride if they paid that one, Ed. There were hands all over that one.
Two kicks in at Hutto.
And Brown has the footy at fullback. 8 minutes 20 remaining. He signals as if he's going to go down the middle, and then no. He decides he'll just go a bit of a wandering. He ran his measure, and maybe then some as Kelly bangs it up. Equal numbers. There's a lot of height there, and there's the experience of Carlisle, who takes the mark.
Jeez, that's frustrating. Two key forwards in, you get outmarked. Cardinal sing, you cannot allow oppositions to take the mark.
Carlisle. Oh, clean out of the air by Tim Membry. Outstanding take there.
2 contested marks in a row there by St Kilda.
Marshall did well there. He backed really strongly. He got under it and almost back and cleared the path for Memory to be able to launch. You know, he's a 2-foot jumper, but just Marshall just sort of almost clears the path for him a little bit.
Yeah, not great by Hartigan though, was it really?
Well, he had to run and jump
off that contest and just go crunch.
5 disposals, as you can see, hasn't scored tonight. Didn't kick a goal last week, but is generally a beautiful kick of the football. He needs to be now for the Saints. And the crowd is relatively silent as the Saints strike.
It's a big kick. That kills you though. Aerial contest 2 in a row by the Adelaide Crows big man. First one there, Mackesy and Taylor Walker don't get the ball to ground. Carlisle takes a mark, just drives it inside 50. See here, now Hartigan needs to do a better job of impacting that contest. Tim Memory's had a quiet night, takes a big contested mark.
Duday's his direct opponent, Memory's direct opponent, so they had the hand over there, and you're right, Hartigan's got to kill it.
Jack Steele's night, he's been enormous. 25 disposals. Jack Steele, he's probably been the best player on the ground, I would have thought. I think he's been, let's call it a soft tag on Brad Crouch. He's kept Brad Crouch to low numbers, 12 disposals. That's a huge night. He's had 12 clearances himself, 4 inside 50s and a goal as well. He's been magnificent tonight, 18 contested possession.
So the Crows challenge and the Saints respond. Crouch gets the handball at this time. Gresham's been great the last 2 centre bounces. Big kick forward off hands. Membry starting to get amongst it as well. In they go. Loney went hard at the ball, gets up and goes again. In the back, free kick. And there we go. Membry will get a second shot at goal in a matter of a minute. And this will seal it, you think, if he can put this through.
Yeah, he's got the same stick as Ed.
Kent.
The big kick just after 3/4 time when he nailed that goal from 45 out, when you thought the Saints were home when he kicked that one, but the Crows have been able to work their way back into it. But geez, this would be a big nail in the coffin.
So Kent kicked a good goal earlier in the game. Comes in early in the quarter, in fact, and he gets his second for the term. And the Saints might end a run of 10 consecutive losses to the Adelaide Crows, who get their first at the Adelaide Oval.
It's an important contribution from 2 guys that didn't really sniff it in the first 3 quarters. Dean Kent got the first one just to settle those nerves, give yourself a little bit of a buffer. And Memory's last goal as well. He's been on Duday most of the night, who's been terrific, the stand-in captain for the Crows. But you can go all night without having an influence, but as long as you keep delivering on the effort, you can have a big impact late in games.
A couple of telling goals. And the margin now is out at 23 points. So the Crows need to hit back and hit back hard, or their fans will head home disappointed. And the Saints, after a hiccup last week, will be back on target. I guess one of the other factors in the Ryder-Marshall discussion is just the sheer number of games they're going to play in quick succession. We'll get more of an idea on that.
I guess that really touched on before is that Marshall's not a big man, so obviously Ryder goes better at the centre bounce, especially. You can see there's a good example of it. You don't get that when Marshall's in there.
Out to Jones, and they go forward again, just away from Butler. Embry up to meet at that time and sends it to full forward. There's 2-on-1 against Duday, doing what he does best. And he didn't muck around that time. The handball might have been a bit too quick for Crouch, but slipping out of there cleverly was led. Back to Matt Crouch. And they're forced wide, though, so it's a quick kick around the corner from Seedsman. Smith was high, but couldn't hang on. Geary, and they try and move it forward off the boot of Butler. Down to the goal square again. And Loney in perfect position. And rolls another one home for the delighted Saints.
Good return from their small forwards. Butler's kicked 3, Kent 2. Gresham's kicked a goal as well. And Loney's kicked a goal. So they'd be happy with their small forward contribution. Really been the strength of the year for the St Kilda football club, the pressure able to apply on ground, and then when the ball hits the ground, that's the thing, the St Kilda big men, they don't have the pressure of taking contested mark. They just got to bring the ball to ground.
Well, it ends up being a 2v1, so Loney's direct opponent there goes in to fly for the footy, McCasey, and Loney holds his spot on the ground like a good crumbing forward does. Classy finish.
So let's have a look at the ladder now, because this is all important for St Kilda. They need to get the percentage up as well. And the Saints, as you can see, jump up to 6th position on the ladder. So a couple of late goals here be very handy for them on the percentage department. So it's been a good night for the Saints if they get through.
Yeah, being able to get on top in the middle of the ground here the last 5 minutes or so on the back of Paddy Ryder's dominance up.
Play on.
Yeah, and Ryder gets the tap again. Steele tracking it. It was picked up by Seedsman though. Good play by O'Brien, just flicked it forward. Keys goes off the ground. Some promising signs tonight for the Adelaide Crows. Led in game 150. Keys has been strong over the ball. He bullocks his way through, gets boot to ball. Caulfield tracks it to the boundary line and does all he wanted to do from the moment the ball came his way, and get it to the boundary line for the throw-in. It's been a good win for the Saints tonight. 5 minutes still left on the clock, of course.
They've struggled on the road the last 3 years too, Ed. St Kilda.
Tick under 5 goals at the Adelaide Oval.
They're back here next Saturday night against the Power too, boys.
Yeah, they've only won 2 games of the road the last 3 years, so they've been horrible. The opposite of your footy club, Ed.
Yes, they'll be back in Noosa between then, now and then. And I think out of quarantine, so they'll be able to have a little bit more space to do things during the week. And they get themselves sorted on the wing.
Out, Tom!
Dean Kent takes the mark.
Stay out!
You're going to pick a place to be locked down at this time of the year. That's not a bad one.
That sounds all right, Hutto.
We're jealous of anything like that at the moment as the kick goes forward off O'Brien's hands. Kelly kept Butler at bay and then gets a free as Steele went tumbling in.
No advantage.
On that conversation, the Ryder Marshall one, you've got to look at it tonight. So 11 hit-outs to advantage by Ryder. So they've won their clearance count. It's been a dominant display by St Kilda. Yeah. So on that alone, you'd have to think that they play continue to play Ryder with Marshall.
That seems to be the theory, doesn't it? That because we're so efficient when we do go forward, and we've got such good small forwards that apply pressure, getting it in there is the most important thing. So let's give ourselves the best chance from a clearance point of view, with Paddy in there to be hitting to the likes of Steele and Jones and Gresham.
Talia out to the wing. And it's coming back though. Caulfield again.
It definitely stunts what we see from Marshall. But he was recruited as a forward.
Well, last week though, Lobb got a hold of him, didn't he?
Yep.
As a one-out ruckman.
Up to the 50, not beyond yet. Loney flat out. Smith with the hands. Kelly left it behind, left it for Keys. Lots of handballs in tight. Didn't gain much, didn't gain anything. Ross, and it's over again. 3.5 minutes to go. As we saw, the Saints will be back in the 8 tonight.
So throw in. Saints really want to finish this game off now. And of course the Crows just don't want to lower their colours too much. So it's a good battle this last 3 minutes here, and both teams still throwing themselves into it. Good play. So Howard with a big high up and under. Marshall sits under it. Again, Steele at the fall of the ball. It's just been magnificent tonight, and over it goes.
Yeah, I think he'll get the votes tonight, Ed.
He'll sleep well on the plane back to Noosa.
Pretty easy job for the umpires tonight, awarding the 3 votes for the Brownlow, I would have thought. 26 disposals, 19 of those contested. 13 clearances and a goal.
And it's been the consummate performance tonight. So Gresham, was good in those centre bounces when the game needed to be won in the last 15 minutes or so. So Duday goes out wide.
Play on.
So Mackesy has shown a little bit tonight, and at times just shown his inexperience as well, but he's a likely type, no doubt.
Yeah, he is. Isn't that old rule gone by the wayside? The St Kilda player came from behind there to man the mark. That would normally be a 50-metre penalty.
So King does the ruck work against Talia. High tackle, and McAdam takes the free kick.
Hold. Stay up. Move it on. Play on. You.
Henry's kick is short. Hamill lays it off to McPherson. They're on the build on the outer side. Or maybe they're not. As Howard takes yet another mark.
Have you seen that much up, Brownie? Howard against Tex. Tex has had some good moments.
Well, he impacted the contest, didn't he? Certainly at the start of this last quarter, he looked like he was looming as the match winner. I think Howard's he's put in a very solid display. Kicked a goal as well. It was probably goal of the day. Yeah, I've liked Howard's game.
Well, you look at Howard and Wilkie as a couple of pretty handy pickups for the Saints in defence over the last couple of years.
Yeah, outstanding. I think all their recruits been good. Like Brad Hill will work into it, no doubt about it. He's going to get heavily tagged and he's been under a fair bit of scrutiny, but I think St Kilda recruiting in the off-season's been good. They've all contributed. Butler, Zach Jones, Dougal Howard, Ryder tonight. They'd love to see Brad Hill start to get some more dominant displays happening. I'm sure that'll work.
Hopefully Hanbury not too far away. Also, as Keys and the handballs start to get chained up, Jones took a step too many. Apparently that's not a tackle, it's socket forward. Hardigan. Kicked it like a last line defender. Henry dug in there. Hamill and Keys just stayed balanced enough to give them something late to go on with. Couple of youngsters involved in that, and then Keys finished it off.
Look at this hit first. Dean Kent. Bang. Welcome to very young Chase Jones. He took it well, though. He got up. So, good effort here, good finish. Like we spoke about before the game, Hutto, about the glimpses we're looking for from Adelaide Crows youngsters. So, Ben Keys come in tonight. He's probably played on Gresham for the most part. I think he's been one of the positives, one of the few positives for the Adelaide Crows this year, really. You're just looking for these younger blokes. Can they show some glimpses throughout the year? 22 disposals. That's not a bad return from a player who's tagging.
He just looks like he wants to compete.
Yeah.
Not the prettiest in terms of the way he uses the footy, but competes really strongly and as a starting point. You've got a young side and you're trying to develop a culture. That's what you want.
That man Will Hamill's had a job on Brad Hill tonight. So good to see the young blokes having a couple of roles.
So they go 50-50 for time in the forward half. And Keys again. Good play, well done. Lynch. To full forward. Hardigan down at full forward at the moment, but it's picked up again by Howard. The outside of the boot, he wants the boundary line and finds it and disguises it well enough for a throw in.
He moves well for a big man, Dougal Howard.
Yeah.
He's quick, agile.
Really good speed for a big man.
So 40 seconds, 39 seconds left. 23 points the difference to St Kilda. Keys again gets another touch. Crouch around the body, sets it up, and there he is again. So Dougal Howard has had a night out.
Yeah, they look pretty settled there across half-back now with Cofford on Clark as well. So, Dylan Robertson was he was in All-Australian contention a few years ago. We know he had those issues, but he hasn't been able to force his way back in. Jimmy Webster, a few regulars over the past.
Savage.
Yeah, Savage.
Yeah.
Good play by King, intercept to Kent. Kent with the last kick of the game, is it all? Is there one last mark in it for Membry? That'll do us. And St Kilda get the 4 points at the Adelaide Oval for the first time in their history. And they end a run of 10 consecutive losses to the Adelaide Crows. The Adelaide Crows have now lost 10 in a row.
Yeah, that man would be pretty happy, I would have thought, really. Brett Ratton, very serviceable performance. They lost the run of the play there in the third quarter, early in the last when Adelaide Crows challenged. But I thought it was pretty good performance there. Adelaide Crows again, 7 losses in a row to start his coaching career. Matty Nicks, he'd be frustrated, no doubt about it. But at St Kilda. There's a lot of positives out of St Kilda's year. I think their game's coming along nicely, really. Of course, they've got a lot of improvement in hand. That man, Nick Caulfield, you spoke about him before. I think he's been one of the shining lights for them.
Yeah, we often look at the win-losses, the emotion that's then going to permeate through that group for the entire week. So I think both of these sides tonight have gone forward. Certainly St Kilda, you come across and you want to get the 4 points. It's a team you haven't been able to beat for a while. You haven't won up this ground yet since you've been playing here. So big tick for the Saints, particularly their efficiency. They were able to get a decent score on the board from only 35 inside 50s. But Adelaide, the coaches would be sitting there saying, hey, we did a lot right tonight. We won the inside 50 count. We were much better in the contested possession. Our pressure, which has been a really disappointing aspect of our game so far this year, was much better tonight.
Had they taken their set shot opportunities late in that second term and into the third quarter, could have been a different story. But that's the name of the game. You've got to kick your goals.
Yeah, absolutely. They dominated forward half in the, especially the third quarter. They just weren't able to score. So
they had 5 consecutive shots at goal. They were all gettable.
Yeah,
and had a 4 behind return.
Yeah, it was costly. There's Josh Battle, who was injured early in the game. Friendly fire was. He crashed into his teammate Paddy Ryder and got a pretty nasty cut under the eye. So, but yeah, Rats will be happy. Rats actually coached from the bench tonight. He was downstairs, normally up in the box, but he down on the bench, closer to the players. There his man, Jaron Geary, I thought did a fantastic job tonight on Brody Smith. I thought their matchups worked really well. So he was able to keep Brody Smith quiet, keeping him 12 disposals. And I felt as if Jack Steele matched up on Brad Crouch for the majority of the night as well, and kept Crouch to low numbers, 15 disposals, and Steele had 26 himself. So you've got to really like what they did there, St Kilda. They targeted the Adelaide Crows prime movers, and also they changed up for Brad Hill. Brad Hill has been under a fair bit of scrutiny this year about his lack of production so far for St Kilda, his new club, but started him on a forward flank. I really liked that. Got him involved, got him working. Didn't have the biggest numbers, 12 disposals, but I thought he worked hard and he stayed involved. So I thought it was a good coaching display by St Kilda, and the players backed it up.
Yeah, all smiles out there for the Saints. Can you see a win now that they're going to be at home for a while, or you'd think we don't know the full extent of the fixture, but you think Adelaide are going to be at home for a while after being away. Can you see a win around the corner, Brownie, for the Crows?
Yeah, I do. Look, I think there's got some good kids there, but Tex showed some signs tonight, so he's back in. If they can get Sloan back, they get Miller back, just to name a couple of guys to help with their ball movement, especially. They weren't brave enough in the first half. So no doubts, I think, you know, one of the things I'll focus on during the week is, boys, just have a crack off half-back. Take the game on a bit more. That's the only way we're going to score. So didn't take their opportunities in the second half. Otherwise, they would have been well and truly in the game. But, you know, there's enough positives there.
They're feeling it, though, aren't they?
It's tough.
They're really feeling it. It's a really tough time to be going through for the Adelaide Crows. Let's go down to Mark Rashuda.
Jack, congratulations, mate. Huge game by you tonight. 26 disposals, 13 clearances, 19 contested. You happy with that?
Absolutely. Obviously, we wanted to respond from last week, but you know, tonight was a perfect opportunity. We haven't won in Adelaide since I don't know when, a long time. So it was definitely you know, in the plans to respond, and the midfield was the best way to do it. So I'm glad.
And the last 10 times you've played Adelaide, they've won. So a good win on the road would be a great confidence booster for your young side.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially coming back here next week against Port. You know, gives the whole group confidence, especially young Ronnie Burns, who made his debut tonight. So hopefully we can take a bit from tonight and move it into next week.
Oh, good luck, mate. You're back here next Saturday night against the top side, the Power.
Cheers, Root. Appreciate it.
And that becomes a big game all of a sudden, doesn't it? Because Port Adelaide on 24 points on top of the ladder. St Kilda now 6th position, jumping up to 6th position, 16 points, and just a percentage behind Geelong and 2 points behind Richmond and Collingwood. So they're right in it at the moment, St Kilda, and a win next week at the same venue against the top of the ladder Port Adelaide will really throw them into contention as we head to the back half of the season, and also the constricted fixture coming up. So it's going to be an interesting time. Very hard to get a form line, so these wins are massive, and a good crowd of St Kilda fans there tonight as well at Adelaide. So well done to the travelling Saints, or the Adelaide Saints.
Yes, that's exactly right.
No one's travelling, that's for sure.
They're good to be able to redeem themselves after last week's capitulation, really, it wasn't it? So would have been a long drive back up to Noosa on the bus last week from the Gold Coast. They would have been bitterly disappointed, but they've been able to respond tonight. They're pretty happy, I think. I think a fair bit of strong feedback early in the week as well from the coach and maybe some of the leaders. It's always relieving when you can survive that feedback and come out and produce.
And young Ryan Burns gets his spot in the middle. $18,173 people at the footy tonight. On Monday Night Footy saw St Kilda to beat Adelaide by 23 points. Sarah, it's all yours.